Welcome to TheoTRADE. Don Kaufman here, February 11th, 2026. Just over 20 minutes left to the cash close on this Wednesday afternoon. The S&Ps, well, they might be massively unchanged. Nevertheless, gamma risk is primed to explode. Again, you wouldn't know it looking at the S&Ps, right? You're going to think to yourself, whatever, another kind of craptastic day. The S&Ps are, for the most part, flat. Volume out there doing about 1.3 million contracts. That should tip you off. That's kind of high right now for the fact that the S&Ps are flat. But allow me to show you why I think that this gamma risk is so primed to explode. And I think you should anticipate it, any day you're going to get, huge seismic moves in this marketplace. Let me actually get exactly into why right here, right now. Let's get to the TheoTRADE evening update. So inside of the S&Ps, I'm going to start here with just a quick discussion of what it means to have gamma risk and why gamma risk is kind of primed. I'll get to in a moment. But what is it to have gamma risk? And for that, I'm going to go ahead and close up this left side bar and cruise over. This is a 90-day 2-hour chart inside of the S&P futures. I'm going to cruise over to futures, adjust for contract changes, hit apply, hit OK. All I'm doing is just adjusting my chart, making it just right. What I mean specifically by gamma risk is if and when you trade in a relatively tight range for any substantiated period of time. In this case, you could argue that we came into the range sometime mid to late October, right? So for the most part, you start to look, and I'll define the range, the dead center of the range, as right around 6,900. But inside this range, and the longer we're in this range, the more gamma risk we pick up. And again, the central point of this range being about 6,900, you've been in it now for literally months. So what happens, when we just kind of grind sideways for months? Why do I call that, gamma risk? It has to do with options, and what we term open interest, OI, right? So open interest. And you can look up open interest pretty much on any option chain, but the open interest that we're most concerned with is going to be the open interest inside of what product? Some people are pretty familiar with the products, and that product is the SPX. So the SPX is an options, only product. And in this SPX, as time goes on, you just keep accumulating more and more and more open interest, in a very, very tight range. Now, why am I looking then at the S&Ps? Because the S&Ps, this is the S&P futures, are joined at the hip. The S&P futures are basically like the underlying for the SPX, because the SPX has no stock. The S&Ps, these futures, really are its underlying. So imagine that you're kind of cruising along and you start with just a little bit of risk. And every week that you sit, in that same area, the ball of risk, kind of continues to grow. And the ball of risk continues to grow. And the ball of risk, continues to grow. And right now, we are at, if you will, it's like a tsunami of risk exists in this market because we just haven't moved, right? And what happens is the open interest, kind of denoted here as these balls along the way. If it's a snowball, basically, gaining speed. But here, that represents, if you will, the open interest. And the open interest continues to grow. And the more open interest there is, the more what we term gamma risk. That is, the more options that have traded there, the more options have to be hedged there. And what happens, when you have this massive amount of risk, if we start to kind of roll down the hill, the markets will just take off very, very quickly because the professionals in the world have to actually hedge in the dynamic of the move. Conversely, if we start to rip to the upside, the market makers would have to turn around and buy. And that sounds odd, but market makers are reactive, okay, to market conditions. In this case, start to sell off, okay? These trading firms are going to have to sell off, okay, with the marketplace. Now, at this point in time, I am leaning, okay, and I typically don't lean, but I am leaning very much bearish, okay, when this kind of, again, tsunami, if you will, of gamma risk lets loose. As I said, it's primed at this point to rip. So why is it so primed to rip? I mean, explaining why the gamma risk is there, easy enough, right? You trade in the same kind of horizon for a long period of time. It just grows. The open interest just grows if you don't move for a long period of time. That's easy enough. I think people get that. So why is it primed right now? Okay. And what specifically do I see that thinks like, all right, that's it. It's going to rip. Okay. And it's going to explode. And to me, it has everything to do, okay, with some of the sector rotations. Okay, and I've been giving sector updates like nonstop, but we've been seeing, okay, these extraordinary manic moves, if you will, okay, to sectors that are just simply put, anything I want to buy, anything right now but technology. Even Google at this point, which has been, if you will, this has been kind of what's keeping markets afloat lately has been Google. Because when other products like NVIDIA have flattened out for months, I mean, NVIDIA has done nothing since late July. Okay, Broadcom's the exact same thing. It's done nothing pretty much since August. Meta's a crap fest. Okay, Meta is back to where it was. I mean, literally, if I pulled up a 1-year chart, Meta is basically flat on the year. Okay, as I said, NVIDIA, there's nothing going on over here. Amazon, if you haven't seen this lately, year over year, Amazon's now down in the nearest, okay, year on a year-to-date percentage. Amazon's down 10%. They're no longer part of the supporting cast to the marketplace. So we're seeing capital, okay, rotate in the only term I can call it is just manic. All right. Trade is just throwing caution to the wind. And they're doing things like buying like XLP, which is now up almost 14% in the year-to-date basis. Okay. And I want you to look at that for a second. Does that look normal? Because XLP, and people don't even, it's consumer what? Okay. Consumer staples. This is crap like Walmart. All right. And it's stuff like Walmart, okay, that are in here, Target, and a few others. There's a few, again, anything like toothpaste would be in here, but the movement, of toothpaste should be relatively slow. It's not. If you look at the home builders, okay, they're exploding to the upside. If you look at the XLI, which is the industrials, they're exploding to the upside. Okay, let's go to some individual products at this point. Have you seen ExxonMobil? I don't think people look at this. ExxonMobil on a year-to-date basis is now up 27% year-to-date. This is a stock. I'm going to pull up a 5-year. This is a stock that has had a nail in its foot, okay, for the better part of 1, 2, 3 years. All of a sudden, rips to the upside. Does this look natural to you? Look at Caterpillar. Okay, Caterpillar hasn't gotten out of its way. Literally, this is a 5-year chart. Okay, and all of a sudden, it's the hottest thing going. Year-to-date, up 29%. They're unnatural moves. And the reason you're seeing the moves, okay, and you're not seeing the S&Ps go down is that even mild selling right now inside some of the tech stocks, and it hasn't really caught fire. Look, Meta is down, but this is not like a massive, move to the downside. Meta on a year-to-date basis, still up by 3%. I'm not saying tech is getting killed, but tech is no longer taking any leadership role whatsoever. So you have to then buy, if you will, 5 times more of ExxonMobil to prop this entire marketplace up. And that's the kind of moves that we're seeing. These just absolutely manic moves. And you get then stuff like Microsoft. Okay, and I can't even bring this up like enough. Microsoft is getting killed now, and Google, which has been the mainstay, is getting killed. And the reason that I believe that right now that we're really primed for a substantiated move inside of the S&P 500, okay, the hit to tech can no longer, you can't look the other way. And no matter how much you want to buy Caterpillar, it is not going to save this market anymore. There's only, okay, one of two things that happen here. Either the world turns around and just starts buying the living crap out of Google and they start buying Amazon, okay? I mean, immediately, and buying Microsoft, okay? Or the S&Ps are going to start to fall. And if the S&Ps start to fall, here's the scary part, okay? If they start to fall, what is going to occur is we're going to break, okay, this volatility box. And the volatility box, right, is from that 8,500 right into, or sorry, the 6850, okay, into the 6950. We'll break through the volatility box and start to get torn apart in this market. So yeah, it's an absolute, okay, powder keg of risk. And it's just, you know, it's primed to explode. But now some of the pieces of the puzzle, okay, are becoming much more clear that, you know, again, we're buying energy like it's going out of style over here. These are not necessarily positive, if you will, affirmations to the marketplace. This is being done, if you will, out of desperation. Even more interestingly enough, today, okay, we started losing a couple of these products, including like regional banks, which have been incredibly hot. Even regional banks now are starting to come off. There was another one I was looking at, like airlines, okay, like jets. Look at the manic moves in here. All of a sudden, we figure out that this may not necessarily be, okay, the end all be all. Markets, though, right now are still relatively flat. The advanced decline line can't get off this 50-50. I'm telling you, okay, the next day or two, this is dangerous, dangerous territory. You got to buy tech right now. Tech has got to come roaring back. We've even lost the financial sector in here, which is all of a sudden starting to take a much more devastating downturn. And for what? It's only off by 3%. For what? Okay. There's less and less sectors that we want to rotate into. Okay. At this point, people are buying Apple not because they think, okay, it's, you know, the greatest stock. They don't have a lot of AI investments, right? And it's like the safe place to go because you start to look around and what is safe? What is safe, okay, when we're doing things like buying Walmart, okay? What is safe when we're doing things like buying Caterpillar? Simply because tech is no longer working. As I said, gamma risk, primed to explode. Okay, pay very careful attention to the next two trading sessions. Things could get angry in this marketplace in a hurry. Thanks everybody for joining us here at TheoTRADE. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.